Ready to Love, season 9, season 7, episode 9. I'm trying to understand why y'all so mad at James. Why y'all mad at him? Why are so many people mad at him? For the way he talked to the man. Now, I'm mad at him, but I'm not mad at him because he held those men to the fire. See, a lot of women are mad at James because you've never brought a man to sit down and get grilled or barbecue, like my father called it, barbecue, by either your daddy, your male figure, a brother, or some man that loves you and is in your life. You've never brought a man to talk to your dad to be held to the fire. So my thing is, if you've never done that, and a man that is worth his salt, as my daddy would say. I talked to Bishop on Monday. It was so good to hear him. He's getting ready to go to the Council of the Bishops next week. I gotta say him an old friend. Because I said, Bishop, I'm doing some things. I need the anointing to flow in my life. You've never brought a man, but stop being mad. The reason why y'all married Pookie, Ray Ray's, Tyrone, Dusty's helper, brother out, homosexual, builder males, fixer uppers, is because you didn't let your daddy or male figure grilled him. Let me tell you, when me and my husband went to my pastor, not Bishop Bradshaw, at the church I was going to. Bishop had moved away and was going to another church, black church. And we went to the pastor, Bishop, and said, Bishop, we're engaged and we want marriage counseling. He said, okay, come next week and bring your finances. The first meeting was bring your financial records. And then you know what he said? We sat down. He said, my job is to make sure you do not get married. And when I brought my husband to meet my dad, I'm sure I saw Mike wipe some sweat off. Now, my husband is in marketing. He is a master marketer. My husband handled multi-million-dollar contracts. I'm sorry, guys. I can't find my tissue. Multi-million-dollar contracts. And when he sat down to talk to my daddy, he grilled him. That's why he called it barbecue. Barbecue, bring us so I could barbecue him. He grilled him. I was just sitting there eating my chicken. Then my dad was, okay, you passed the test. He met with him a couple more times by themselves. And when my husband brought my engagement ring to my dad, he looked at it. He held it up to the light. He said, boy, you all right. We laughed about that today. I have no problems with how James was grilling these nigglets who want to be the bonus father to his daughters. Now, I have a problem with him. I'm going to tell you what my problem is, but I have no problems with it. As a matter of fact, he didn't go hard enough. And why people are mad at them, you've forgotten Psycho Morgan, who's walking around putting near in people's ears, and thirsty, fake, feminine Jeffrey, who is gifting people babies. Who does that? You gifting people babies now? This is what we do. You just walk around gifting a man you're not married to a baby? That's not a gift, boo-boo. You was trying to put a burden on that man. Because if it was a gift, he would be there taking care of the baby, helping the baby. He would have married you. It's Wednesday. Good morning. I love you. Thank you for your love and support. Let's go ahead and get through Ready to Love. I only did half of it because I really want to spend some time talking about James, which I already did, okay? I absolutely love you. Be sure to subscribe and thumbs up. We're on our way to our $20,000 remnant. I absolutely love you, and I absolutely adore you. Thank you for your love and support. Husband profile is going great. No, you cannot have the book. Who was it that said they can to get the book? No, ma'am. It's only for the people who take the course, okay? Because we have to go through the book together. If you can get the book without the course, then no. Okay, who was that said that? Who? Roberta, was that you? All right, love you, love you. Thank you so much. Near into here. So we have grown woman put near in man. You know, I could understand she was like 21. I'd be like, well, you know, she's a little young. Morgan is damn near 50. Putting near in grown men's here. So then the ladies meet with Tommy, and Tommy basically tells them that this is the week that they need to introduce their exes to their interests. Now, a lot of people were upset that for next week he's not doing the same thing, but he does that ever so often. Okay, maybe they switch it up each person. So then fake feminine Jeffrey is gonna meet with Tommy. I thought she was gonna tell Tommy she's a man or something. I'm sorry. We've all been trying to figure out, is she a biological woman or not? Don't lie. See, I don't like liars. Don't be coming over here lying to me. Well, thank you for those of you coming over here. Thank you, boo. Yes, I did it myself. And that she don't have any exes to meet with Tommy. She was with her first baby daddy for 12 years. So in other words, she was 10 years a girlfriend. So you was 10 years a girlfriend. The man left you, gave you 2 babies and left you. And you didn't learn from that. And then she hasn't heard from him in 6 years. Then she was with this man for 3 years and he didn't have any kids. So she gifted him the baby. And soon as she got pregnant, he left. What kind of gift is that? Huh? You just go around gifting strange men babies? If you so into gifting people babies, Jeffrey, go ahead and be a surrogate to some of these women, especially Black women who can't have children and cannot afford a surrogate. I need to see if I could donate to women who surrogate. Because, you know, the doctor said, Miss Thompson, your ovaries are glorious. You have so many eggs. Do you want to donate? I was like, no, I don't want no little Lexi or little Michael running around. Go ahead, Jeffrey, and be the gift to some Black woman who want to have a baby, since you want to run around gifting your womb, being an incubator to some man who didn't marry you. This is after you was in a 12-year relationship, girl. 12-year relationship. Now, even as bad as that is, Jeffrey, I'm going to overlook it. Because over here at the church, girl, we overlook one. Okay, you was young, you was dumb, you didn't have no sense. But boo-boo, after you wasted 12 years with this man, you went back and spread your legs and give some man who didn't put a ring on your finger a baby? So she's trying to make it sound deep. But technically, Jeffrey is just a typical hood chick from the hood, spreading her legs to men you didn't marry, gifting men babies. And as soon as you get pregnant, I don't understand. How you gifting this man a baby, Jeffrey, but as soon as you got pregnant, he left? No, you was trying to tie him down. Tell the truth. Tell the truth, Jeffrey. You was trying to tie that man down. Talk about as soon as I got pregnant. But I thought you said it was a gift. Please stop using the Bible to approve your sinfulness. Don't do it. Yes, the Bible says in Psalm, one of my favorite scriptures, that children are gifts from the Lord. Blessed is the man who has his quiver full of them. Now, I gift my husband a baby. Okay, this is a gift. But he stood right there. He took care of me. He paid our bills. He provide for us. He was in the hospital. He do homework. He give baths. My husband has even taken a pay cut so that he can be here more, travel less. My husband used to travel a lot. He's in marketing. He used to travel. But ever since little Michael's getting older, he keeps saying, I got to make some changes. I need to be here. Because little Michael's doing tutoring. He wants to play basketball. He's going to mute a piano on I gotta show you little Michael playing the piano. He's going to music. Now little Michael is older. He want to do all this stuff. He want to do softball. He want to do all of this stuff. And my husband says, I need to be here. I need to have a position where I'm not traveling as much. Because my husband said my father was a good man, good provider, but he was never home. My husband said his father worked all the time. And he said, I don't want to be that far. I want to be here. I want to do homework. I don't want to miss him growing up. That's gifting him a baby that he's actually taking care of. Because a gift, for example, my engagement ring is a gift. I take care of it. I take care of it. It's just not laying around. My babies are gifts. I take care of them. I feed them. I make Lexi lunch. Somebody said, how old is your daughter that you're making her lunch? Yes, I do. I make her lunch every night. I make my husband lunch too and leave. My husband's working from home. I make his lunch and leave it in the fridge and put Frederick Douglass on it. Everybody have their magnet. Stick to your magnet. If your magnet is not on the plate, don't eat it. Lexi. So I'm trying to understand how Jeffrey is going around gifting men babies that didn't marry her. Tommy tells her that she needs to explain to the guys why she ain't have nobody to bring. So then Morgan meets with her ex Junior and Tony and Lyndon. And Morgan is talking through both sides of her mouth because she said the relationship was superficial. But she want to see, she don't know what he's going to say about them, about him, and he want to see how they react. She want to see how they react. So if the relationship was superficial, how do you think he was cheating on you? Why you so mad that you was having a strep throat and he was out hanging out with friends? Why you put near in his ear? Suan, please call Junior and get a case against Psycho Morgan. I don't understand. If it was superficial, it wasn't as important as you say it was, Morgan. Why you put near in the ear? Because even later in Tony's voiceover, he said, I don't think she's being honest about her feelings for him. Because if there was no feelings, why would you put near in his ear? And why didn't he call the cops to get you locked up? And in this week's episode, I'm going to play the clip later. She talking about, oh, she don't do that no more. She's learned to communicate. In 3 years, no, ma'am, you are a crazy, psychotic nut. And you need to go check yourself in a mental institution because you're grown behind damn near 50, putting near in a man's ear. You're assaulting a man, Morgan, because if he did the same to you, he would have been in jail. If he did the same to you, he would have been in jail. So why you not in jail? Why you not locked up? So then Cynthia arrives with her ex, and it looked like they were holding hands. Anyways, he looked like Mr. T from the A Train with all them golden, typical hood Negroes from the Caribbean who come here and have all this gold and all this. It is ridiculous. I will agree with you guys on that, but maybe that's his style. I'm all for what people want. One thing I noticed though, he walked ahead of Cynthia. He didn't open the door. But this is what I'm saying about Caribbean men. That's why I don't like them. They're not gentlemen. They're not trained to be gentlemen. That's why I don't like them. I like doors open for me, chairs pulled out, order my food, all of that, pay all the bills, all that stuff. Okay. She said she wants to see how they would deal with a blended family. Cynthia wants him to feel them out to see if they would be good bonus dad to his kids. Here is my question, James. Why are you not being a father to your children? And those of y'all that's mad at him, let's remember Cynthia had 2 babies for him. Over here at the church, girl, we overlook one. So Cynthia, we gonna overlook the first baby girl. You gonna go back and spread your legs to this man who didn't marry you the first time and had a whole other baby. Girl, what? Just remember, for those of you that's mad at him, Cynthia had 2 babies for him. 2, not 1, 2. So then here comes Andre looking like the genie from Aladdin. I kept saying, what does he look like? And when he was walking in the blue suit with his little ponytail up here, I say he looks like the genie. I should have asked little Michael. Little Michael would have said, he looks like the genie. Tell me he don't look like the genie with the little thing up here and the bit buff up here and skinny down here. Tell me. Go ahead and lie. Lord Jesus. So then Andre sit down with him and whispered, so you Cynthia X? And he said, speak up. I can't hear you. So Andre is going to clear his throat and sit up. And the first thing this black man is going to say is Cynthia is a strong woman. James asks, how do you know it's not a facade? And y'all is mad at him for asking that question, but y'all forgot that Cynthia said her strongness is, for lack of a better word, a facade. It's a shield she puts up to protect herself. She said those words to Andre. Did y'all forget? Apparently you do. Y'all forgot. She said that. For those of you mad at him, he is asking the right question. How do you know it's not a facade? There's nothing wrong with the question. That's a good question. That's an excellent question. How do you know it's not a facade? She already told us it was a facade, guys. She already told us. And then he asked him, James asked why you don't have any kids. And he said, how old are you? 39, why you ain't got no kids? Andre, you should have said, I'm not married. Easy. I haven't met a wife yet. I'm not married. I don't believe in having kids out of wedlock. That was easy. You could have said that, but no, honey, he didn't say that. He said I had bad choice of women who were not ready. So he chose the women who were not ready. And James asking him, how do I know you're telling the truth? Those are good questions for a man to ask another man. I have no problems with it. So then we see Jeffrey meets with Blue and Mark Anthony, and she basically told them that, you know, she didn't have anybody to bring. She dated guys here and there, but she had no confidence to bring them to meet the guys. And she gifted the last baby daddy the first child. And as soon as she got pregnant, he walked away. I already told y'all how I feel about that. Stop with the lies, girl. You are a typical hood chick from the hood, and you're just typical, but walking around popping babies out for men who haven't married you. We overlooked the first baby girl, but you had 3 babies. You have 2 babies for the one for 12 years, and the newborn, you just gifted some man you just met, girl, please. Mm-hmm. So then Anthony shows up to meet Cynthia and James and Andre, and he was late, of course, but I don't know if that's how they set it up. And James asks about Andre dating history. He said he basically had 3 relationship, and then he had flings in between. Andre then says, me personally, I'm very successful in my field. James says, I didn't ask you about your field. He said, I'm asking you about the flings in the relationship you've had. Here comes Andre getting all flustered and getting all emotional, talking about, you asked me why I don't have kids. James said, I asked about your flings. I don't see anything wrong with how he asked the question. I asked you about your flings. I didn't ask you about your career. So then Andre is going to say, you have to ask me direct questions. Jay said, I did. I asked you about your flings. Here go Andre. I've conquered everything, a lot of things in my life. I've been in Forbes magazine. I've had multi-million-dollar companies. And I'm like, okay. And he's trying to sell himself to a man the way he sell himself to a woman. Thank God Anthony jumps in and helped Andre out and said, can we move on to the next question? So then James asked a question about the kids, and Anthony said, look, I have a 5-year-old, so you would know. James says, well, why you not with her? Anthony should have said, why you not with Cynthia? See, that's how you know what I mean? You gave her 2 babies. Why you not with her? So Anthony says basically, you know, we weren't focusing on each other. I thought Anthony had more than 1 kid. You know, he says I have a 5-year-old and he knows how it is to have a child. So then we go back over to Jeffrey, the incubator. They ask if she has no relationship with her ex. You didn't have anybody to bring Jeffrey? Nobody. I thought I had a picture of her up here, but I don't. Nobody. You couldn't bring get a friend, a cousin, nobody to bring. So Blue says he doesn't know if Jeffrey's painting a perfect picture or an excuse. It's an excuse in his voiceover. She says she's not the mom with baby daddy issues. Yes, you are, ma'am. You have 3 kids with no fathers. You have 3 kids where the fathers are not involved. You do have baby daddy issues. I wonder if the guy that have the 7 kids and 7 baby mamas, I wonder if Jeffrey's one of her his baby mamas. Y'all think so? Do y'all think Jeffrey's one of his baby mamas? Lord Jesus. And she said, I don't have no baby daddy issues. So see, she said basically let them watch movies so they can see what it's supposed to do. She says her and Mark in her voiceover, her and Mark Anthony is fine, but Blue did not present himself. Blue didn't defend himself. You present himself. You didn't present yourself. You ain't had no man to bring for them to me and talk to. You talk about Blue didn't present himself. So then we're back over to James, and James asks, what Andre, what you bring to the table? Guess what he said, girl? Well, I don't know if I'm going to bring anything to the table yet, because right now we're just trying to get to know each other. And, you know, I might meet somebody else tomorrow that I really like more. And I'm like, what a fool. What an idiot. How do you say to a man who's vetting you for a woman that you don't know if you're going to bring anything to the table yet? James says, but I'm not going to let you play with her. But I'm like, James, hello, 2 babies. You didn't marry her. 2 babies, James. You forgot? Did you play with her? Apparently you did, because you gave her 2 babies and left her. So then Andre says he can have anyone in his life because he was featured in Forbes magazine. So I'm like, why are you on the show? I wasn't sure if he said he can't have anyone in his life, but I went to the guest room with the words on it, and he says, I can have anyone in my life. I was featured in Forbes magazines, blah, blah, blah. So why are you on the show? If you can have any woman in your life, Andre, why are you on the show trying to meet somebody? I just want to know. So then James is like, listen, I don't want to know about your credentials. Here go, Andre. Look, I gotta go. He can't stand the heat. He can't stand the heat, y'all. So he had to get out the kitchen. He claimed, I can't do this with everybody. I can't do it. See, these are the men I'm like, ooh, they're so full of themselves. I just cannot. James, listen to what he says, then turns to Anthony and says, I want the best for her. I made her go through a lot. She was innocent. So my thing is, it's my doctor's office. My thing is, why didn't you marry her, James? You can still marry her. It's not too late. At least not to if I remember correctly, he didn't marry her. It's not too late to do right by Cynthia. You can still do right by Cynthia. You can show up to the reunion, James, with a ring and propose to the woman that you put 2 babies in and left her. So then Anthony said, but are you open to have another man around your kids? He basically said, yeah, I have to. So then James is going to hit back and say, okay, we at the store. Your daughter won 10 items. Anthony say, and your daughter is going to get 10 items. Then I'm going to ask your son what he want or what else can I give him to compensate. And Cynthia smiles. See, this is what we want to hear. James says, I like your conversation more than Andre. And let me say, this is the first time I'm really seeing Anthony. I was like, oh, Anthony. First of all, this time he showed up as a man. He wasn't being real feminine and soft. He was a real man. And I really liked Anthony in this episode because I was like, okay, Anthony, go ahead and talk to the man. And even James said, I really like your conversation more than Andre. And James says, you're still suspect, though. Anthony says, of course, you're a father. That's the key right there. He's a father. So because he's a father, he really got to vet these men that's going to be around his daughter. Because my dad was a father, he really had to vet my husband. Let me tell you, I only brought my husband to meet my dad. I never brought another man to meet him because I already know what I needed to bring. Now, men have showed up at the church and claim they're supposed to marry me, and God said I'm supposed to be their wives, and they want to talk to the bishop and all of that. But I have never in all of my life said to Bishop Bradshaw, I'm bringing somebody to meet you. I've talked to him about guys, but the only man I brought to my husband, to my dad, was my husband, because I knew what I had to bring to him. I knew I had to bring a man that he told me to bring him, a man who loves Jesus, who can provide, protect, profess, and all of that. So I knew I couldn't show up to my dad with some soft back man. I knew that the only man I had to bring to my father was the man I was going to marry. I couldn't bring any and every man to meet my father. I got married at 35. I've been with Pastor since I was 17. From 17 to 34, I brought one man to meet him. Because I knew what I had to bring him. I knew I had to bring a man that could stand the heat. I knew I had to bring a man that said, you love me, you're going to provide, you're going to protect me. I knew I couldn't bring no soft jelly back man like Andre to meet my daddy. So then Anthony says, but he has to go. And James is like, no, 5 minutes, stay with me, chop it up, let's talk. He was like, no, I have to go. Cynthia has my information, get my information from her, because I'm not going anywhere. And Cynthia said, ooh, James says, that's game. I love that. See how Cynthia got excited? Oh my God, he said he's not going everywhere. But the man who knows the game says, that's game. He's talking game. So then in Cynthia voiceover, she said he's just here to piss him off. So my thing is, James, put a ring on Cynthia's finger. Marry her. You still have time to turn this around. And Cynthia said to him, "You gonna make them leave me?" Don't he said, "I'm not gonna make them leave you." I totally agree with it. Because if they really like you, really want to be there for you, Cynthia, they're not gonna leave. No matter what come or what goes, they're not gonna leave. But if they're not really for you, James is gonna scare them away. I love y'all. I got to go. Let me hear what you have to say in the comments. Be sure to subscribe, thumbs up, share this out if you can. I absolutely love you, Dory. Talk to you later. Bye.